In my last video, I talked about cyclic ketogenic diets or carb cycling, where most of the week you're on high fat, low carb, and then a couple times during the week you switch it up and eat more carbohydrates. Right now, I'm going to talk about carb timing, which is a way to eat carbohydrates every single day, but only when your body needs carbs, only when your body can use carbs. And the rest of the time, when your body doesn't need carbs and would just be stored as fat, you don't eat any. And a really good example of this is my anaerobics diet, which you can get by clicking on the link below and joining my newsletter for free. And when I was on the anaerobics diet, I was also on the anaerobics workout plan, which was nothing but high intensity, short burst intervals. It was plyometric push ups, jumping plyometrics, burpees, jump rope intervals. Everything was explosive and everything was a timed interval, every single exercise I did. And that used the anaerobic energy system of the body, hence the term anaerobics. And the best fuel for the anaerobic system is carbohydrate. So what I would do is I would take in directly before and directly after my workouts carbohydrates. The rest of the day I wouldn't. Because like I said, the rest of the day I really wouldn't need carbohydrates. I just store it as fat. So I would wake up in the morning, let's say 6 o'clock, and I would drink some liquid egg whites, some pasteurized egg whites. Okay, basically pure protein. About 9 o'clock, I would make myself a drink in the blender right before I went to the gym, and that would consist of almond milk, kale, non-fat plain Greek yogurt for some protein, and a banana. I would drink it. By the time I got to the gym, like 20, 30 minutes later, I had already assimilated the carbohydrate from the banana into my body. I could get in an excellent high-intensity interval workout, and after doing that for 30, 40 minutes, I was just destroyed, okay? All the sugar was burnt up. My entire body was just empty of carbs. Then, I always had in my gym bag a shaker bottle with whey protein, dextrose, which is a very simple sugar, creatine and glutamine, and a bottle of water. I would mix that together, drink that down directly after my workout, and once again, very simple sugar in liquid form went directly into my bloodstream when I was completely empty. Now, there are a couple reasons why I did that. First of all, like I said, the banana before fuels my workout. When I'm done and depleted, I replenish all the glycogen in my body with that one drink. There are a couple other things. First of all, we're talking about my workout for the next day, because there were studies that if you're burning carbs for energy, you're not fat adapted, but you're burning carbs for energy, and you deplete yourself today and do not replenish right after your workout. Yes, I'm talking about like the 20-minute window of replenishing your carbs. If you don't do that within like a half an hour, it's going to take like more than a day to replenish the glycogen in your body, even if you do go ahead and take in carbs. So I would just get that done in liquid form with very simple sugar right after my workout. So the workout the next day, I would have the energy to go ahead and do it, okay? Another thing is I've spoken about other videos. I've spoken about how some bodybuilders these days will abuse insulin. They'll shoot up insulin because insulin is an anabolic. It helps you grow. By taking dextrose in directly after my workout, it spikes my blood sugar. When your blood sugar raises, your body puts out natural insulin to drop the blood sugar levels down again. So I was basically getting a natural insulin spike after my workouts by taking in all this dextrose in liquid form. Now, the reason for that is, like I said, I could not only is it very anabolic to have insulin raised up in your system, but also the whey protein, the creatine, the glutamine that I had in the drink with the dextrose after my workouts were absorbed a lot better by spiking my blood sugar first, okay? And then the rest of the day, I'd have chicken and almonds. After a while, I put in a high-fat meal, which was like 80% lean ground beef. At night, my nighttime meal was once again unflavored plain Greek yogurt with some cinnamon to flavor it. That's what I'd have before I went to bed at night. So, like I said, the rest of the day, when I really wouldn't be using any carbohydrates, I would just have protein or protein with fat. But I still got the benefit of carbs before my after my workout when I needed it. Now, like I said, this is the best diet that I've ever been on. This is the absolute best results I've ever gotten. I think it was a wonderful diet. The drawbacks are it's not cheap. It's not extremely expensive, but there are a lot of different things you need. It's not cheap. You do have to do meal timing. You have to eat at certain times. You can't just go all day without eating and have a big meal at night. It's complicated to figure it out as your body changes in terms of adding muscle, losing fat. You're going to have to adjust the diet. If your workout changes, you're going to have to adjust the diet. So like I said, it's not cheap and it certainly is complicated, but it is like the best diet I've ever been on. The only other drawback that I could really think of is, let's say you're a professional athlete and you train several times a day. Okay, like you're an MMA guy who wakes up in the morning and does some conditioning or some strength training, and then you come back and take a nap and eat something, and then you have your jujitsu in the afternoon, or you're wrestling, and then at night you go ahead and you do some sparring or you do some kickboxing. So you're working out 2, 3, 4 times a day. Then it might be a little bit of a problem to use a diet like this, because then you'd have to break it down to eating carbs before every workout, but then you might be taking in way too many carbohydrates. So like I said, if you are only going to be working out once a day, and if it's going to be a real killer workout, like in my anaerobics videos, then like I said, this is probably the absolute best results I've ever gotten on a diet.